Hi there guys, welcome back to another solo run challenge on the Retro Brown channel. Today we have Aipom in Pokemon Gold, and this is going to be more surprising than I think anyone would have expected from an Aipom. So let's talk into what Aipom is all about really. In terms of its stats, it's very mediocre with a base stat total of 360, and that's spread mostly across its attack and speed. Finally, we've got a speedier Pokemon than one that's got about 30 speed, which makes me so happy just even beginning this video. It is a normal type Pokemon, so there's going to have a big problem against Chuck and a few other trainers as we come through it. That moveset that we get starting off though, we start off with Scratch and Tail Whip, but then we get Sand Attack at level 6, which is a great move because we love to get rid of people's accuracy. We're going to go with the name Ai. As a nod to Super Monkey Ball, if any of you guys remember that game. Love that game on the GameCube, it was a fantastic game. And with this moveset, we actually have a very good chance at getting through this game really quickly. Because we also start off with that 70 base attack, which is fantastic for a single stage evolution Pokemon as well, we're actually going to do pretty well. But looking at the other moves that we can get on our moveset, and we don't have, considering special attack's our worst move, or worst stat, sorry, there's not really going to be that much that we don't really need. We're going to go for D Pryor as the rival, as one of my subscribers, Dan Pryor. Thank you for subscribing. I know it's been a while since I've put you as one of the rivals, but again, thank you very much. Hopefully see you on more videos in the future. Going against Falkner, of course, his Pidgey is not a problem whatsoever. They don't seem to go for Mud Slap in this fight, they're more going for Gust because they think they can do more damage. But it's going to take a few scratches, we don't even need to set up Tail Whip, and we managed to get through first time at level 12 and learn Baton Pass, which we will as soon as possible get rid of, because we're not switching out Pokemon, that's not one of our rules in this. If you do want to see the rules for my solo challenges, just look down in the description, they're at the description of every video. Now we can move on to Azalea Town, we can go against a rival, and this is where you might think we've got a problem to start off with. But because of Falkner, we actually get the move Mud Slap, which is super effective against the Ghastly, meaning this normal type Pokemon can sweep it with one hit. We are of course having Croconaw as our rival, because our special is the worst thing that we have, especially our special attack. There was no real point for me to go and get any special moves on this run really. We really want to more focus on the attack, on the physical attacking moves. We are level 19 going into this fight. Aipom does seem to level up quite quickly, and considering it's in that same sort of group as Yanma and that, where pretty much they're only that single stage evolution, they get evolutions in later games. We don't really do... There's a massive difference in the quality of Yanma versus Aipom. And that honestly just comes down to the moveset that we get. One of the biggest pluses on Aipom over a Yanma is the fact we actually get elemental punches and a variation of moves, which of course is definitely going to help us out in the bigger fights coming up. We can't get them until after Bugsy though, so once we've beaten this guy down, which we will do on our first attempt, we will pretty much have every move we need to move through this entire run. We don't learn Fire Punch. Oh no, we do learn Fire Punch. We learn all the elemental punches. Now, as we learn with the Slowking run, if you have a punch move on the elemental punches, in Gen 2 you do very, very well. If we really want to change it up as well, we can learn Iron Tail later when we beat Jasmine, and that gives us even more type variation, but there aren't too many Pokemon that are weak to steel type moves. Whitney, of course, is actually not going to be too much of a problem. Return is a powerful move, our friendship was high so we could actually get the move, and I switched to using Headbutt, and we take it down. We tank enough rollouts to make sure we win. So that's 3 badges and no losses. We actually haven't had one loss up until this entire point. But of course, with most runs, that usually we always get a reset at some point, but so far we haven't had it. Most likely though, we're going to get it against Morty here. We don't have very powerful moves to take him on, and his Ghastly's, yeah, he's got a lot of Pokemon. Mud Slap does decent damage, but it's only a 20 base power move. And yeah, it's just not great. After you get past the likes of Goldenrod, Mud Slap is not a good move to continue using. But because we've gotten really... We could use Thunder Punch, of course, but it's doing around about the same damage as a super effective Mud Slap. We have been cursed, so we need to get some good luck here. Mud Slap lowers the accuracy, and then we get put to sleep. So yeah, this is going to be a reset. There's no way we can beat him now. Curse will just take us out on the next turn. There's no point even trying this. Let's reset. Yeah, he even uses Dream Eater as well. Not good. So that then brings us on to what level we had to be to actually beat him. And we did have to level up considerably. We were level 29 last time we went against him. We're now level 35, and now Mud Slap. Well, we're using Thunder Punch, sorry. We've got rid of Mud Slap for Fire Punch. The punches are now taking out most of Pokemon very comfortably. The Gengar as well is still especially very bulky, so we need to use multiple Thunder Punches to take him out, and then he uses Dream Eater, which recovers his own HP. We need to be awake for this, and Ai stays asleep so long. Oh, we get a critical when we do wake up and take down the Gengar. We've only got 10 HP for this final Haunter. If he uses Curse, he goes for Mean Luck, we can win. So yeah, we did have to spend quite a bit of time leveling up, but our level up group is pretty fast, so we didn't have to worry too much and waste too much time. Next up after Morty, we're going to go over to Chuck. Yes, we've got the type disadvantage, but I actually think we might do alright here. We'll have to see how we do. So, he starts off with his Primeape. We are level 37, we're going to go for a Return, and it's a one-shot because we actually do have decent attack at 70. Next up's the Poliwrath, and I'm going to go for Thunder Punch. It doesn't do more than half damage, and then we get put to sleep. So if he uses Dynamic Punch here, we don't want to get hit by Dynamic Punch. It's got 50% accuracy, so can we tank it? Can we tank it? We do. 21 HP, we wake up, and we push through the confusion. Well done, Ai. Wow, that was a first time victory. So we've only lost against Morty. I don't know how we're going to do against Jasmine. We do have Fire Punch. We do outspeed most of her Pokemon. It might be more than enough than what we need to beat her. So we're going to go straight for Fire Punch, and it's a one-shot against the Magnemite. Perfect. That means it's going to be the same against the second Magnemite. And we just got the Steelix to contend with now. So it's still best move to be using is using Fire Punch. It's doing half damage, which means she's not in healing range. Iron Tail does massive damage, but she hangs on, and this is a close fight. We need a good range on this second Fire Punch. We don't get it, and she misses Iron Tail, so we win. We win. First time victory against Jasmine with an Aipom. Yes, we're level 39, but this is going really well so far. This run is going extremely well. This leads us on to the Rocket Side Quest. And of course the Rocket Side Quest is not difficult, it's just very tedious and long. But it gives us a good idea of how we're going to do against the admins later on when we go up to the radio tower. We're level 43 now, Gloom is not going to be a problem. We're just going to sweep with Headbutt. And last up is the Murkrow, of course, which is defensively weak, but we've ran out of PP, so we need to change to Thunder Punch. There is a very good variation of moves that Aipom gets. We don't even really need to have a look at Hidden Power. I think we do have a need for Iron Tail maybe at some point. Return, of course, is a fantastic move. We can learn Swagger. We can learn Attract because we're a female Pokemon, and most Pokemon in Generation 2 are male, at least in major battles. We can get Thief if we really want Dark-type coverage as well, and Shadow Ball. So we've got a lot of good moves that we can be using. Against Price though, because he's quite a bad gym leader, we can use Thunder Punch, we can use Return. He's not a problem whatsoever, even with an Aipom. He does manage to tank a Return from us. He uses a Hyper Potion, it means we've now got to use Return twice now. We're going to switch to Headbutt, take him out. And that's 7 gym badges, guys. So that leaves us on to finishing the Rocket Side Quest. And the biggest problem coming up with Rocket Side Quest, of course, is the rival in the underground and then the executive at the top of the radio tower. But I don't think we're going to have too much of a problem against the rival. He's got a Feraligatr. He's got a Golbat. We've got elemental punches, so we can take out most of his Pokemon quite comfortably. And for any of them that aren't weak to it, we've got Return and we've got Headbutt. I think the Haunter is probably going to be the biggest problem in this fight, because we don't have anything super effective against it. Fire Punch still does decent damage, but thankfully he only goes for Mean Look. We are level 47. This is how quick Aipom actually levels up. We haven't really been going out of our way for any extra battles at all. We've pretty much just been trying to go as quick as possible. And that brings out his Feraligatr. Thunder Punch is going to do big damage. It's going to take 2 hits. He goes for Scary Face. But because we're so quick, it literally makes no difference whatsoever. And there is the rival beaten. And we can move on to the executive at the top of the radio tower. So he starts off with Houndour. It's not really a problem. Headbutt is more than enough to take it out. If it really was a problem, Return would have been a more powerful move. Coffin is definitely defensively stronger, so we're going to use Return on that. And then Houndoom comes out. It becomes a full team sweep with my Aipom. II is doing fantastic. And that brings us on to Claire, the last gym leader in Johto. We can learn Ice Punch, and we haven't learned it for this one. I was going to go into this one with just Return, and if we did well with Return, we would... Well, if we didn't do well with Return, then I would go and get Ice Punch. That was my thinking with this. We outsped all of our Pokemon, Return was one shot in all the Dragonairs, and we got through to the Kingdra without losing any HP whatsoever. So we're going to go with Return. It's going to do, wow, a lot of damage. She's going to go for a Hyper Potion. I don't want to put her into another healing range, so we're going to go for Headbutt. It's going to take 2 Headbutts to take out the Kingdra, and that is all 8 gym leaders beaten. So that brings us on to the Elite Four. But before the Elite Four, we have the last time that D. Pryor can actually give us a challenge. He starts off with Sneasel here, and Return is more than enough to take it out. Golbat is next. We're going to go for Return again. It didn't really matter if we went for a Return or if we went for Thunder Punch. We're now level 56. Magneton, we've got Fire Punch still just for this reason. And we take out the Magneton. Next up, of course, is the Haunter. Fire Punch, yeah, we'll stick with Fire Punch. It's going to take 2 hits. We do get confused by Confuse Ray, which is 100% accurate. But we take it down the second hit, leads us to Kadabra. It's defensively weak and usually always goes for Future Sight, but we're never even going to see that because Return hits first. Last up is Feraligatr, and of course we're going to go for Thunder Punch here. We break out of Confusion, and again it's going to take 2 hits to take us down. Slash does big damage. Feraligatr is a lot stronger physically than it is specially attacking wise. So when we've beaten him, we can then move on to Will, and I think we've also got a very good matchup against Will here as well. So Will starts off with Xatu. We've got a Thunder Punch, we've got Return. We go for for Return in this instance, and we take it out in 1. Again, Jinx, not very defensively strong, so Return is more than enough to take it out in 1 hit. We are level 57, I am very aware that we are quite high level for this point in the game, but Aipom levels up very quickly, what can I say? Even without going out of my way to get extra fights in, we still got to this level quite naturally. We've got Thunder Punch for the Slowbro, but I'm actually going to start off with using Return. It does around about the same, but he is going for Curse now, so his defenses would be higher. Last up is Xatu. We haven't lost any HP here right now. And we take him out without losing one single bit of HP. Aipom is flying. I did not think Aipom would be doing as well as it is. Next up we have Koga. Most of his Pokemon are quite weak to fire, so this is one of the reasons why we kept Fire Punch so long in the game. Return though is going to be more than enough to take out the Ariados. Ariados is not a very strong Pokemon. Venomoth as well gets taken out with 1 Return. Fortress, this is why we wanted Fire Punch, is doubly weak to fire type moves, and it gets taken out in 1. Last up, we have Muck, and then we have the Crobat. It's quite defensively bulky Muck, so we are going to go for return. It goes down in 2. Last up is the Crobat. We have Thunder Punch if we really need it, but return. Fantastic move. Doesn't take it out in 1, and then he goes for full restore. So we're back to square 1. If we get a critical hit though, that would be perfect, but we outspeed. Yeah, we actually outspeed a Crobat, believe it or not. This is why I had so much fun playing as Aipom. When you can actually outspeed, you can go first. You have a much more fun time on these solo runs, in all honesty. So, this was the Pokemon trainer I was most worried about, really. With Bruno being a fighting type trainer, we had to make sure we hit hard and hit him in one-hit KOs. Third up, we've got Hitmonchan. He does have Mach Punch, so we were always going to lose the speed tie there. But we got 117 HP to take out the Machamp. This is not looking that good. Because usually, Cross Chop. Yep, I knew that was going to happen. Cross Chop is a fantastic move. I used it on my Smeagol run when I had to go back and need a fighting type move to take out the Snorlax on Red's team. It's a very good move. It's not got the best accuracy, but it's very powerful. And considering we're weak to fighting type Pokemon, yeah, it was definitely going to be a one-shot KO. What we need to do is actually take out his Pokemon in one hit, or we take a punt on using Headbutt and hope for the flinch chance. We got 120 HP this time going into it. Can we get a one-hit KO? No, but he misses Cross Chop, so we can then use Headbutt. And this time, 2 Headbutts is more than enough to take him out. This just leaves the Onix. Now, I actually don't have a good answer for the Onix, to be honest. If I put Ice Punch on my moveset one battle before, yeah, we'd have actually had a lot less trouble against this Onix, but he does get us down to quite low HP, but we still managed to take him out with a couple of returns. Karen is definitely not going to be anywhere near as hard as Bruno. Yes, she doesn't have a type advantage, but at the same time, she is a bit of an annoying trainer. We finally got rid of Headbutt for Ice Punch. I just wanted that full spectrum of elemental punches. Yes, our special attack is not very good, but we've got return. So even if we need to use a physical attacking move, we've got one of the most powerful in this generation, really. So, the Gengar is probably the worst Pokemon on our team to go against. We can use Ice Punch to take it out in 2. And now we've got the Murkrow, and we've probably... yeah, as long as we hit, we won't take too much damage off Curse. We're at 58 HP, going into the last Pokemon. Houndoom, it's quite a fast Pokemon, but is it bulky enough to stand a return? It's not, so we get a first try victory against Karen. And that brings us on to Lance. Now we've got Ice Punch. We've got a very good moveset to be going against him with. We've got Thunder Punch for the Gyarados and the Charizard. We've got Ice Punch for pretty much everything else. So it's 4 times weak to Thunder Punch, and we take it out in 1. We move up to level 62, and Dragonite is out. So Ice Punch is 4 times as effective against Dragonite, so it's a one-hit KO. Next up is going to be second Dragonite, and of course it took out the other one in 1 hit, so it's going to take this one out in 2 hits. 1 hit. I'm getting my maths mixed up. Aerodactyl as well, it's 4 times weak. No, sorry, 2 times weak. I really need to prepare some of my notes for some of these videos when I'm commentating, but brings us on to the Charizard. I'm going to go for return on this one, it's our better stat. At level 63, and we're going into the final Dragonite. Ice Punch should still be enough to take this out in 1 hit. And there we go. II has become the Pokemon League champion in one of the quickest runs we've actually done. I'm not going to spoil the actual time yet, let's have a look once we move into the Hall of Fame. But with that being said, this was actually a very, very fun run. I didn't think Aipom would be as enjoyable to use as I thought, and it makes me interested for when I can actually get to Gen 4 and start using Ambipom. So, II finished level 63 at 3 hours 40 minutes. We beat the 4 hour mark with an Aipom. With an Aipom of all Pokemon. Yeah, I never thought we would do that. So, with that being said, we've beaten Johto. Let's see how Aipom does against Kanto. Let's start with Blue. So Blue has a very varied team, which doesn't make me confident of what strategy to be foolproof, I guess, in a way. We haven't changed our moves up at all. We're going to go for Ice Punch against the Pidgeot. He uses Mirror Move Ice Punch. Doesn't do much at all. And we take it down. We haven't even used any stat boosting moves here. We're going to use Return against this Alakazam. It's very defensively weak, so one shot is enough to take it out. Next up, he's going to go for his Rhydon. So Ice Punch again is the best play to be using here. Even though we got low special attack, it's still enough to freeze it and do a lot of damage. It's annoying that we don't have a stat boosting move there, because that would have been the perfect chance to use it. Gyarados is weak to Thunder. It's going to be a 2-shot. Yeah, it is. It's going to be a 2-shot. And we get the paralysis. So we've just had a freeze and a paralysis. Ooh, on the Executor, I wonder if we'll get a burn and then get all the trio. So, Thunder Punch just... It doesn't seem like a range. It doesn't seem like it's going to be enough to take it out in one. He's going to go for another full restore. If we can get another paralysis, this would be fantastic. Unless we get a critical hit, that might be the only way to take him out. Nope, still not a range. So, Gyarados finally goes down. Executor is out. Can we get the burn with Fire Punch? I really... You know what, we'll go for Ice Punch, see what we get. We get seeded. Yeah, Fire Punch might have been better to use, but we've taken it down. We haven't lost much HP. And we're onto the Arcanine. If Return works here, is it a one-shot? It's not a one-shot, and we've also been seeded, so we're losing even more HP than what I wanted. Return, though, hits second time, and that is the Arcanine taken down. And Blue beaten on the very first try. I think we've only lost to maybe three resets in this entire run, which is incredible, absolutely incredible. So now we're going against Red. We actually are going to change up our moveset a bit. We're going to go for Swagger, Curse, Rest, and Return. It's a foolproof moveset that I've used many a times on this channel. We want to get those curses set up because we've got such good speed. It doesn't detriment us too much. We do have low special defense though, so we need to make sure we can rest, which we can't on this attempt, so there is... okay. Reset number 4. I went up a few more levels to see how we did. Return takes out the Pikachu in one hit here. And that means that we can then move on to the Espeon. We haven't lost any speed, we're just going to go for Return again. And we want to get one of his other Pokemon out to actually set up on. Espeon goes down to 2 returns and we've still not lost any HP. Snorlax is out now, and this is where we want to start setting up our curses. So if we can confuse that Snorlax, hopefully we're going to get him into a range soon where he'll go to sleep, and that gives us a chance to use Curse. But we also get a critical hit there, and he uses Amnesia. So I thought, you know, let's just go for it, Return. Let's move on to the next Pokemon. We've got 3 Pokemon left, we're at full HP. Reflect has faded, so that previous Return probably would have actually done us some good. But he sets up Sunny Day, and probably next is going to come the Charizard. If we can outspeed and get a Return in, we might have a chance. I don't know if it'll one-shot. No, it's not, and he uses a Sunny Day powered Flamethrower, which does massive damage. So next up is going to be the Blastoise. I haven't even set up any curses here. But Sun is still up, so that means his water moves are not going to do very much damage. So he goes for Blizzard, and we survive on 15 HP, and a second Return takes him down. So even... Aipom did not even need Curse to beat Red. This is how good an Aipom actually is in Gen 2. I was really surprised by this. So, with that being said, Aipom has completed it. I just want to see what end time we finished on now. So let's have a quick look. So let's have a review of our moveset before we even start that. We finished at level 85. We used Return, Rest, Curse and Swagger, and we had some really good stats to be fair. That speed was definitely the thing we needed the most. We finished at 4 hours 53 minutes, so we actually beat the 5-hour mark with an Aipom to get past Red, which is amazing. So guys, as we do now at the end of all of these videos, we're going to spin the wheel and see what we got on the next one. because I really enjoyed that Aipom run. Maybe we need something a bit more challenging this time. Let's see what we get on the wheel. First up we have Steelix. Okay, you know, that's actually going to be more difficult than I think people will realise to do a solo run Steelix. Next up is Totodile. Not the worst choice, that's a strong contender. What are we going to get third? Third up is Octillery. You know, I do want to do an Octillery run, but I think Steelix is going to be the hardest choice to use here. So let's get started next week with that. Of course, guys, now we're at the end of the video. I'm going to do the YouTube thing, which is please smash that like and subscribe button, you legends. And we'll see you next week for the Steelix run. Take care now.